Hi there, and welcome to On the Road with K5HRV. I forgot to bring a, what are those called? Oh yeah, tripod with me on this trip. So I'm going to have to do this next demonstration holding the phone with one hand and doing stuff with the other hand, as so many people on YouTube do, although it annoys the heck out of me, but we don't really have a choice. So anyway, the thing we're going to talk about is this cool little emergency road kit that I put together, and hopefully you'll get some useful information out of it, or even better, you'll be able to say, hey, you forgot to put whatever in it, you should do that, and I'll go, oh yeah, okay. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so first of all, I got this thing for like $5 or $6 at a gas station. Now, this isn't just any gas station. This is a place, and people in Texas will understand this. This is a gas station called Buc-ee's. It's like half the size of a Walmart. They have a soda fountain wall that has like 40 different types of Cokes in it and stuff like that. I mean, it's truly oh, in fact, here's how big a deal it is. I even have a Buc-ee's shirt. So if you ever see that symbol when you're driving down the road, stop. Trust me, you'll thank me. Okay, so back to this thing. So let's take a look at the stuff I put in here. Oh, by the way, the brand name is Sheffield. Seems to be okay. I've only had it for about a month, so I neither endorse nor don't endorse. Well, I mildly endorse it so far. It hasn't been through the ringer yet, but I mean, it seems to be fairly well constructed. It's plastic. I mean, it costs $6, but everything at Buc-ee's seems to be pretty affordable. So anyhow, first of all, Home Depot gloves, just good leather gloves that can protect your hands. Okay, what's next? This is a cool little thing that I got actually at Home Depot. It's just pocket-sized duct tape. Should I have a full roll in there? I don't know. Probably not. I don't think I'll ever need that, more than that. If I do, I'll make sure that they include in my obituary, he should have had a full roll of duct tape. All right, so cool little cheap, but very durable Chinese flashlight. I got this for like $3 at AliExpress.com. The reason you can get things so cheap on AliExpress.com is, well, there are two reasons. One, it's Chinese. Things from China tend to be fairly inexpensive. Some things from China are crap, some aren't. This happens to be one of those things that is not crap. It's actually pretty good. And the other reason is you wait forever and ever and ever for it to show up. So this probably took like a month to show up in the mail. Well, if you don't care that it's going to take a month for something to show up, then this is a great thing. So there you go. Knife, no name knife, just good enough to cut this, which is 550 paracord. Now, a word about paracord. I am a big believer in getting real paracord, 550 paracord. That 550 means this can hold up to 550 pounds before it starts to fail. You do not want your cordage to fail you when you are in desperate need of it. Okay, so there's that. There's probably, I don't know, 15 yards worth of cordage there. And cool little trick. Now, I melted the ends because I don't like all those little strings coming out, but you can take those individual strings out of this cordage and use it as well. So that's another cool feature of 550 paracord. All right, light stick. I don't know how useful this would necessarily ever be, but I had room and I had some lying around. Incidentally, this allegedly expired. I don't know, when did this expire? There's an expiration date on it somewhere. I won't keep looking for it, but I think it's like 4 or 5 years past, and I had several of these lying around, so I went ahead and cracked one the other day, and it works fine. So I went ahead and put it in there. Also because I'm not sure just how useful it would necessarily be. I'm not worried about the fact that it's past its expiration date. And an interesting thing about expiration dates we will talk about with some other things here in just a moment. Okay, got my little first aid kit. I'm also a big believer in customizing your first aid kit and making sure you know everything that's in there and how to use it. So I didn't put anything in here that I don't know how to use or apply or anything like that. So there are no, you know, crazy bandages with 3 different arms and you have to put tape in exactly the right spot in here. There are band-aids, big bandages. There's a roll of tape. There it is. It's really covered up in plastic, so, but trust me, there's a roll of tape in there. Antacid, aspirin, ibuprofen, you know, stuff like that. So this is not intended to get you through World War III. This is intended to get you through a few hours on the side of the road. Okay. All right. Emergency survival blanket. This is one of the super cheap ones that you're going to use once and it's probably going to tear, and that's okay because, again, this kit is intended for a few days at most. Now, given where I live, and especially given where I am right now, I just traveled 9 hours through the desert to a very hot deserty place. This is going to be more useful for keeping the sun off of me than staying warm in a blizzard or something like that. So because it's so reflective, that plus maybe some of the cordage, but definitely some of the duct tape, put that over the windshield of the car, keep the doors open, keep a breeze, keep that dry breeze that'll evaporate your sweat going through the car. That could truly save your life. Cheap whistle, because I had room for it, whatever. Very, very, very important. These must not be past their expiration date. Very important that your batteries work. Also, I want to point out that these batteries go in that. So this takes one battery. It's very efficient. It's an LED, so one battery will keep it going forever and ever. But I have 4 in here in this cool little container that I got off AliExpress. And I do not have a battery in here, because we all know what happens when you leave a battery in something and you don't use it for months or years. It corrodes and it destroys whatever it's in. So the batteries and this are separate. All right, and I keep track of the expiration dates on these, and I will replace these when they expire. And these, let's see, these expire in 2028. I'll probably, because I keep them in the car and it gets real hot, real cold, real hot, real cold, I will probably replace these in a couple years. It's June 2020 right now, so I'm not going to wait till 2028. All right. Because the coronavirus is now a part of our lives. There you go. All right. So now, I told you I was going to talk about expiration date. Well, I talked about expiration date with the batteries, but this is kind of what I was thinking about. So I found a deal on a whole bunch of Daytrex stuff, and Daytrex makes emergency food, emergency drinking water, a bunch of stuff for the Coast Guard, things like that, right? Great company. And this water expired 6 years ago, according to the manufacturer. Now, I did a lot of research about this, and I also personally, last month, May 2020, cracked one of these open, drank the whole thing, and guess what? The water was fine. It was completely pure. It was fine. Now, disclaimer time. I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm saying you should look into this and test your own sources of water, like this, because it could be that this water is fine, and the reason that expiration date is there is to keep Datrex out of legal trouble. I don't know. That's a complete guess. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just saying I'm traveling with water that is 6 years out of date, almost 6 years out of date. And I've already had one and it was fine. Will that come back and bite me in the future? It could, but I doubt it. I'm willing to risk it. And then finally, same thing goes for this. This is emergency food rations. This expired, I don't remember exactly. Oh, here we go. May 2014. Okay, same time. All right. Well, I have several of these as well. I cracked one of these things open, and I made sure that the vacuum seal was still intact. It was still in place. And guess what? It was fine. So I think the vacuum seal, again, this is just my guess. I don't know. But I think that the vacuum seal being intact is really the thing that matters. It could be that the nutritional potency, I guess, might not be 2400 anymore, but I'll bet it is. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. That's also based on some research from some other sources on the internet that I've done that I trust. So you feel free to do so at your own peril. But I am willing to risk it myself. Okay, so there's that. All right, so there we are. What do you think?